You ever have that feeling, where no matter what you accomplish, no matter what you get, there's always this quiet little voice inside saying, is this it? Isn't there something more? It's this deep, restless feeling that I think we all have. Well, today we're going to dive into Carmelite spirituality to really understand that search for rest in our crazy, restless world. Let's get into it.
And look, this feeling isn't just for, deep thinkers or philosophers. It's for everyone. Take this quote from Tom Brady. I mean, think about it. The guy is at the absolute top of his game. Multiple Super Bowls, fame, money, the whole shebang. And even he feels that search for something else. It's a perfect modern-day example of a very old spiritual problem. All the success in the world just doesn't seem to quench that deepest thirst.
And this is definitely not a new problem. Way back, over 1600 years ago, St. Augustine completely nailed this feeling. This one line basically says that this restlessness we feel, it isn't a bug, it's a feature. It's like we have a built-in compass, and it's always pointing us towards something, well, something beyond all the stuff we can see and touch. And that idea is right at the center of what we're talking about today, the restless heart. In Carmelite spirituality, this feeling isn't something you're supposed to just ignore or push down. No, it's the actual starting point for a really profound journey. So what is the restless heart, really? Well, think of it just like that, a divine compass. It's that nagging feeling that the next promotion, the next cool gadget, or even the perfect relationship isn't going to be the thing that finally, truly makes you feel whole. And instead of being a curse, this tradition sees it as a gift, a guide that's always trying to point us back to our true home. So how do we actually follow this compass? To get a handle on that, there's this amazing story from the Gospel of John. It seems like a simple conversation at a well, but it's really a masterclass in understanding our deepest spiritual thirst. Okay, so picture this. We meet a Samaritan woman. She's an outcast, and she's coming to get water in the middle of the day, the hottest part, probably just to avoid all the other people and their judgmental stares. She's been through 5 husbands, which tells you she's been on this relentless search for love and fulfillment, but it's just left her empty and ashamed. She's a perfect symbol for all of us, really, when we try to quench that deep spiritual thirst in all the wrong places. But at that well, she meets someone, and she has this encounter that completely changes her life. She's offered a totally different kind of water, a new and, more importantly, a lasting source of fulfillment. And just look at the contrast here. It's so clear. On one hand, you've got the well's water. That's everything she's been chasing, things that give you a temporary fix, that you have to work constantly for, and that often leave you feeling empty or ashamed. But then there's the living water. It's the complete opposite. It's about lasting fulfillment, and it's offered as a free gift. It's about grace and total acceptance, not judgment. So it's really important to get what this living water symbolizes. It's not just a nice metaphor. It represents the life and grace of God. And according to this spiritual path, it's the only thing that can truly satisfy that deep, restless longing for something more. Now, the story hits its most important point, and it's not in some big, dramatic speech. It's in a single, simple action that is just packed with meaning. So let's just pause here for a second. Think about it. She's just had this life-altering conversation. She's been offered a real solution to the restlessness that has defined her entire life. What's her very next move? What does she do? 3 simple words. She left her water jar. Now, that might seem like a small detail, but believe me, this is the whole point of the story. The very reason she came to the well in the first place. The tools she needed to get the thing she thought she wanted, she just leaves it behind. Because that jar, it symbolizes everything. It's her old way of life, her bad habits, her constant, empty search for a fix. For us, a water jug could be, well, anything, right? It could be that career we're climbing, the constant need for likes on social media, or even a relationship we're clinging to. It's anything we rely on for that temporary hit that's actually blocking us from getting something so much greater. And that, of course, turns the question right back to us, doesn't it? What are the water jugs in our own lives? What are those things we're holding on to so tightly? Those temporary fixes we're afraid to let go of, even when we know deep down they'll never really satisfy us. Now, if you want to see a really dramatic, real-world example of someone letting go of their water jug, let's talk about the story of St. Paul. His was one of the most destructive water jugs you can imagine. So you have this guy named Saul of Tarsus, and he is brilliant. He's passionate, and he is 100% certain that he is right about everything. His water jug wasn't just, a bad habit. It was a fortress of self-righteous pride. His entire identity, his purpose, came from his power and his mission to destroy the early Christians. His jug was just overflowing with destructive ambition. And the transformation? It's just total. It's night and day. You have Saul, who's powered by this jug of pride, and he becomes Paul, who trades all of that in for divine grace. And this wasn't just a minor change of heart. The man whose job was to hunt the church became the man who built the church. His entire identity, his social status, his life's mission, it completely flipped. He went from being the church's #1 enemy to its greatest champion.
So what on earth could cause such a radical 180-degree turn? Well, on the road to Damascus, he has this direct, overwhelming encounter with the divine, that living water, and it comes as a blinding light. And in that one moment, his water jug of pride and self-reliance isn't just left behind, it is utterly shattered. He's knocked to the ground, left physically blind, and he has to be led by the hand like a child. His old source of strength was completely broken, so he could finally find a true one. So, when you look at these two powerful stories together, the woman at the well and Saul on the road, you start to see a really clear pattern. It's like an invitation that's being offered to us, right here, right now. Okay, so let's boil it all down. Here are the 3 big takeaways. First, that restless feeling we all get is a sign. It's pointing to a much deeper spiritual thirst. Second, real fulfillment, that living water, it's not something you can earn or achieve. It can only be received as a gift. And third, and this is the hard part, to receive that gift, we have to choose to let go of our water jugs, all those temporary fixes we rely on. So, that leaves us with one final question. And this one is really just for you. This isn't just about ancient stories. It's a personal invitation. What's the one jug in your life, that habit, that ambition, that security blanket, that you might need to leave behind to finally find the true rest that your heart is so desperately searching for?